in child protective services, and they won't give them back to their loving families because they're making money.
This is a legal system that you're going into. And if you don't know the rules, you will be chewed up and spit out.
If I could say anything to a mother who just got their children detained, you're in a crisis. Yeah. Life feels like it's over. The most important thing is regaining custody of your children.
The child welfare system at its core is designed to protect children who need protection, okay? And that's key, is who need protection.
So social workers, out of fear, will remove more children rather than only remove those children that truly need to be removed.
It's okay. It's okay.
This isn't someone stole your car. Someone broke into your house. This is someone took your child, your flesh and blood.
It doesn't say on this order that it was not proven. It says untrue. True. I immediately knew that, okay, well, this ain't over.
Were there signs there? Were there no signs? Did I miss them? Did I catch them? At this point, I honestly don't know.
Families only get a finite amount of time to reunify.
I came into this field to help families, not destroy them.
The difference between the criminal system and the child welfare system is substantial. You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Georgette Truan. I am the host for Fight CPS with Miss G, and I also work for the law office of Vincent W. Davis. I have my beautiful Cassandra and Michael with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, Cassandra.
I'm Cassandra Woodard, and I'm the co-host of Fight CPS with Miss G.
And Michael?
My name is Michael, and I'm kind of, I just pop in every now and again to talk shit and bring awareness to the fucking tragedy of CPS and foster care, dude. It's a terrible thing. It's something that people need to be aware of, especially parents. And yeah. So I guess it's my role.
Thank you, Michael, for that information. Sure. So I am going to start with this. I want to keep on bringing awareness to the public. You guys, when you go through a CPS investigation, the social worker comes, drops off the card, blah, 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 and then they call. We received an anonymous call, et cetera, okay? I want you guys to understand this. When the initial communication with the social worker is very crucial and important. So Mr. Davis always says what? Do not communicate with the social worker without an attorney. You immediately call a juvenile dependency attorney. Immediately. That's like, there is no thinking that you're a great parent, everything is going to be okay. No, that's not going to happen. Oftentimes, parents wait out. Okay, I'm going to wait. The social worker is not going to do anything. So what the social worker usually says, it tries to ease your mind. Okay, they're con artists. When a con artist attacks you, they're not going to say, I'm a con artist. They're not going to tell you that. They're sociopathic, narcissistic individuals who works for CPS. You guys have to keep that in mind. They want you to believe them. They want you to trust them. Do not trust them. Do not believe them. You always have to have an attorney immediately. We have a client not that long ago called us. One of our attorney was on the phone with her and the social worker. And once the social worker found out, she hired us she immediately changed her tone. So you guys have to understand that they get scared of you guys hiring a private attorney to fight their case. They get scared of that. So you have to keep in mind, you need to be prepared, because they will eat you, they will chew you, and they will spit you out like hyenas. And just because you're a good parent, it doesn't mean shit to them. Their main goal is to remove the children, not to protect the children. That's not their main goal, is not to protect them. So you have to get an attorney immediately. When a social worker tells you reunification services, oh, Miss So-and-so, you're going to have reunification services in October, and say your case was opened last year. Why are they going to wait until October to reunify you with your children? That's not going to happen. If they are thinking about reunifying you with your children, it will happen immediately. It will not take them months and months and months and months for that transition to happen. Okay? That's just like giving you breadcrumbs and saying, eat it and wait your turn for the next, segment of breadcrumbs that they're going to deliver to you. When they terminate reunification services, they're going to terminate your parental rights. After parental rights is terminated, then adoption hits in. Usually when the children or the babies are young, kids are younger, they put them in an adoptive foster home. Adoptive foster home. Be very careful with that, because you don't know what's going on. Then they start slowly making your communication with your children less and less and less. That's the behavior of a sociopath. Parental alienation is very serious, but they get away with it. They literally alienate you from your children because they know that they're going to adopt that child. We have several things we're going to talk about right now. On Tuesday, a former social worker, her name is Gary Murphy. Her name is spelled Geri Murphy, Murphy, who admitted she lied about sexual abuse cases involving children, has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Murphy learned her sentence on Tuesday morning in Anderson County. She pleaded guilty to 9 counts of falsifying documents. Social workers falsify documents 100% of the time. Prosecutors said Murphy left children in homes where they were being sexually assaulted, never looked into the claims, then lied to the state. Among the more disturbing cases listed in her indictment, the sexual abuse of 3-year-old by their biological father. She lied. The court has reviewed all the information in this case and is frankly disturbed by the nature of action or non-action that were taken in these specific instances, Judge Charles Hickman said from the bench. A state official testified before Murphy was sentenced Tuesday, saying abuse in Kentucky continues because of Murphy's actions. The fact that these children could be left in the hands of possible abusers is particularly disturbing to the courts, Hickman said. To grant probation would diminish the seriousness of these offenses, and I am denying motion for the probation, he said. Murphy appeared to be surprised. The scumbag social worker appeared to be surprised. She was denied probation and sentenced to 5 years as she was taken into custody. Assistant Attorney General Barbara Whaley commented, and I quote, "I feel like it sent a message. The system meant to protect children cannot be breached without serious consequences." Murphy has been living in Florida. Judge Hickman says she must serve her sentence in Kentucky, where she committed the crimes. This is not new information. This is information that I have been sharing with you guys since I started the show. Nancy Schaefer put it beautifully. She was a senator for Georgia. And she said she was, she lost her life in 2014. She said that CPS, our protected empire, built on kidnapping children and destroying families. CPS, which is Bill Clinton 1997 Act, give them immunity and funding. The funding comes from the federal government. And your tax dollars, my tax dollars, everybody's tax dollars is what funds this gigantic piece of shit entity, which is CPS. They are narcissistic, sociopathic entities that make billions of dollars a year from just stealing children, withholding evidence. Nancy Schaefer actually broke it down beautifully. Withholding evidence, lying about one parent or another. They usually favor abusers. And what does the judges do in CPS? They believe them. A narcissist or a sociopath or combination of both, they're believable in court because that's their job. They know how to deceive people. Whether they're men or women, they know how to deceive people. And that's why parents lose their minds, especially when you're innocent. You are hysterical. You can't believe that this is happening to your family. And they lose their minds. And what does the social worker say? Look, the parent is crazy. She's crying. Or look at them. They're hysterical. Well, wouldn't you be hysterical when they steal your child from you? But they make excuses. And then they become the judge, the juror, persecutor, therapist, psychiatrist, and they judge you because you're crying over your children or your child. Oftentimes, Mr. Davis says, listen, you don't have to do a drug test. You don't. However, they make you do a drug test, and you guys have to understand drug tests usually come back as false positive. And if they conduct an appointment for somebody to do a drug test, especially when it's not a drug test related case, they send them to a facility. That facility have no recollection, like, I don't know why you're here. We don't have a name for you. And then the parent called the social worker. And what happens when there is a no-show? The social worker goes to court, tells the judge it's a positive. Because they tell the parents, if you don't do your drug test, it's going to be a positive. They don't tell the judge they didn't make the appointment. They didn't tell the judge they didn't list the names for the parent to be there. They don't say that to the judge. So therefore, you have to be very careful. That's why it's very important to get an attorney doing an investigation case, because the most important part of this is for them not to remove your child or your children from your custody. When they tell you sign a safety plan or sign this or sign that, and you're going to get your kids back in a week, that's bullshit, straight out lies. Do not believe that. It never happens, ever. I get over 100 or 200 calls a day. As God is my witness, I find myself working until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, because I'm trying to reach as many people as possible. They usually kidnap children during the holidays. If there's a holiday and the long weekend, they will take your children. If they say that they come to your home and they say everything looks great, everything is great, you have food in the refrigerator, we're going to close the case. They leave, and all of a sudden they come back with the police taking your children. What they say and what is reality are two completely different things. That's what a sociopath is. That's what a narcissist does. They create chaos, and blame you for what they do to you as a parent. When the child misbehaves in a different home, When you kidnap a child from a mother, for example, and that child is misbehaving and withdraws from people, they blame the parent. But they don't blame themselves for creating the trauma to the child to begin with. There's a lot of times, one of our clients, only one, was very smart. He actually, him and his wife, when the social workers were there, they had cameras in the home. When they opened the refrigerator, it was two-sided refrigerator. And they had plenty of food in the freezer and in the refrigerator. Plenty of food. Like, it was so packed of food. The social worker, he had the camera, of course, was in the kitchen, one was in the living room, and the social worker wrote in the report that he had no food. They had no food in the refrigerator. That means they were starving the children. I saw pictures of the children before and after. And guess what? The children before were so healthy. After they removed the children, they were so skinny and depressed. They had dark circles under their eyes. How can a 6-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 14-year-old have dark circles under their eyes and depression? Because you created trauma. And then they blame it on the parent for causing the trauma. And then they put the children in an abusive homes. And when there's a sign of abuse and the mother or the father raises concern, what does the sociopath narcissist do? They reflect on you. And then they tell you, if you make another report again, we're going to restrict your reunification services, or you're not going to see your child again for a visit. We're going to stop visitation because you raise concern about your own child. There is nobody your friend in that department. If you ever think that they're your friend, you're mistaken and you're delusional. And delusional, why? Because if you think the devil is your friend, then there's something wrong with you. They're not your friend. They will never be your friend. Their mission is not to protect the children. Their mission is to get the funding that's coming to them. That's their goal. Because without the funding, they're not going to survive. Just like a salesman in like dealerships. If he doesn't meet his quota, right, by selling so many cars a month, he would lose his job. I know this. So you guys have to understand, when Nancy Schaefer said they use children as merchandise, it's the God honest truth. And you guys are left so confused. And I'm going to tell you this, whether you're Christian or not, I'm just going to say this. Confusion is not from God. Only the devil creates confusion. Confusion is not from God. So when you are confused, you're not being still. You need to center yourself. You need to center yourself and do the right thing. But don't think because you're a great parent and you're mother of the year or father of the year that you're off the hook. Don't think. And oftentimes they separate you from your families. So you have to understand something. They will go to your mom and dad or your sister and brother or your aunt and uncle. They're going to separate you first. So your uncle tells you, hey, do what they say, everything is going to be okay. That's what the social worker feeds them because they're not used to this. They're going to believe them. So you need to be mindful. You need to put on your thinking hat. You need to educate yourself because oftentimes when people call me, they don't even know what CPS is. They're like, oh, well, Miss Georgette, I'm going to be okay because I'm a good mom. And you think all the other moms are bad moms? Yes, Miss Georgette, all the other moms are bad moms. I'm different. No, you're not. You're not different. And I actually tell them that over the phone. Some of them get offended and some don't. But my job is, I don't care what you think. Either you hear the truth, you don't want to hear the truth, then that's on you. But they don't care if you're Mother of the Year. And just for the other moms that think that they're bad moms or children are being snatched from them, you're mistaken. There's a lot of great moms out there fighting for their kids. There's a lot of great fathers fighting for their kids as well. And you guys need to educate yourself. And you can cry afterwards all you want, but do not allow them power over you. When you allow your enemy power over you, they win. Because a narcissist, all they want is power and control. If you give them that power and control, that's you. You need to be alert. You need to be awake. You need to be thinking straight. When you're sleeping, right? You're numbing your pain. This is no time for numbing your pain right now. It's time for you to stand up and fight with all your might, and do not ever, ever give up on your children, no matter how bad it looks. Do not ever give up on your kids. Ever. I'm going to have Cassandra share what she needs to share with you guys today. Go ahead, Cassandra.
As some people might know, I don't know if everybody is aware, but it is National Reunification Month. And which is a joke, I feel like. It's like the biggest joke I could ever freaking possibly think of. They just want to laugh in our face, basically. But Reunification Month is a celebration, they say online. It says, a celebration to show the families and social workers that worked hard to get reunification back for a child and their family.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure that that's what they are celebrating for show. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's all for show, because if they didn't celebrate something or show that the system works, the success stories that the system works, then everybody would catch on. Everybody would catch on that they're doing this to good families and taking kids away if they didn't show some type of success.
Right.
In other words. So they have, like, this year, they haven't really had a lot of hype on it as much as they have in the past years. I've noticed, like, in the past years, they've had, like, a whole bunch of celebrations and this and that. And I went on their website, which is the American Bar Association, by the way,
right,
is the website for National Reunification Month. But they have, like, nothing. I haven't found any states that have anything this year on Reunification Month. Like, it's hard to find. And it's weird how, like, this year there's nothing. They don't have any celebrations yet. They don't have nothing planned. But in the past years, they had, like, big rallies and stuff like that with the parents getting awarded and, like, stuff like that. But this year they didn't. And I don't know why.
I want to also add that, Cassandra, Ashley Clark has a point, and I've seen emails actually of that too. Ashley said they sent her a survey, wanted to know how DCFS treated her, which is, I've seen it with my own eyes. Darren! Sorry, guys.
I am.
It's about darn
I'm so
time.
sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry I'm late. I've been working. I finally just got to a place that I could get to you. I am so sorry.
It's okay, baby.
But I'm here.
No, it's okay. I'm just glad to see you're okay. I'm glad you're here. But I'm gonna finish what I was talking about.
I'm pretty far.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so Ashley received an email, and DCFS wanted to know how a survey wanted to know how DCFS treated her. Right? I've seen, by the way, several emails. Ashley was not the only one. I have other people who send me these emails, and they were shocked about it. And other people said they explained to them step by step. The social workers fabricated reports, withholding evidence from the court. They literally broke everything. They sent evidence. They attach evidence. They attach reports. What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of this? If you want to know how DCFS is treating the people, the parents that lost parental rights, wouldn't you, if you get more than one parent telling you this, wouldn't you, right? Wouldn't you want to address the issue? Wouldn't you want to open an investigation and bring these children back when you know that it was maliciously done? That's my thought. What's up with the email? What's up with the emails? What's up with the emails? To make it look like you're trying?
Exactly.
No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
What the whole reunification month is for, so they look like they're trying, like they're actually making a difference. Yeah, but they're not.
They're not trying.
I'm highly doubt that any of those families are real, to tell you the truth. Like
Actually,
that they celebrate or whatever, because it's fucking bullshit. Like I feel like all that is just bull. Like it's you guys are just.
There's more bullshit. Darren, what do you have to? I mean, Michael, what do you have to say about that report we read today about the 13 months old baby?
Oh fuck, man! I think it's disturbing. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's nothing that's fucked up. It's nothing that's new. You know, I think this happens on a, I hate to say it, almost a daily basis.
Is your internet upstairs better, Brie?
There.
Go ahead and tell us about that.
Yeah, dang, I still have it up. Yeah, I don't know. This lady is a foster mother, and she leathered the baby apparently, and then shook him, and he wouldn't stop crying, and I don't know. Anyway, ended up killing the baby basically.
So basically, that mother. Can you go in depth? What did she text her husband?
Yeah, let me see. I just I was actually emailing or not emailing, but I'm writing a letter to the senator of, you know, the section of where I live at, because this is just fucking out of control what is going on. From what I've witnessed and what I've heard, but what's going on every day, you know, I think that's something that we should be doing is reaching out to these guys. But anyway, you know, I don't have it.
I'll read it, Michael.
Yeah.
So she wrote the first text message. She said, I'm going to lose my mind. He just pisses me off all the time. I can never just have a nice day or a night. Although I need to stop smacking him, because if I start, I will not stop at one point, and it's not getting us anywhere. And then I feel bad. She then messaged the next day, and I'm quoting her, sorry ass, I've just absolutely leathered him. I cannot take this anymore. He's going to have to go. Now, this is an abusive foster mom.
And mind you, this baby's only 18 or 13 weeks.
13 months.
13 months old.
She said, I honestly really don't like him lately. He's an absolute moaning wingbag, and I totally regret doing this. She is going to lose. She said, I'm going to lose my mind. Now, what is sad about this is that even babies, when you snatch a baby from their mom, it's not a good idea. It really isn't. Because the baby is attached to that mom. Foster parents, she's a foster parent. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Well, she fits into everything you just described about a person. That's a fucking narcissist to the T right there. You know, oh, it's the baby's fault, you know, it's, oh, what about me? You know, it's like, dude, you're supposed to put yourself, you know, the baby in front of you, you know, like not make it all about you and your feelings and your time. I mean, it doesn't look like she does anything with her time anyway, you know, like
exactly. She's nothing. And she actually did a video. She left the baby crying, and she did a video and posted it on TikTok. She thought it was funny. She thought it was hilarious. telling a 13 months old, like, you're going to be all right. Why are you doing this? Are you kidding me? No affection, no love.
Blaming the baby.
And you sued the baby. You don't do this. You don't do this. But what the CPS does? Put the children in a non-family member home.
Mm-hmm.
And what the CPS does? Withhold evidence and the truth from the courts.
Oh yeah, they're great at that, but they're even better at making shit up. You know,
Exactly.
that's just the fucking the half of it. It's a very uphill battle because even if you do contest what, you know, the lies are, they'll just make fucking more of them up. You know, that's the thing. You know, there's no limit. There's no limit to what they're capable of doing. And the fact of the matter is, nobody does anything about it. You know, people either get beat down and they stop fighting for their children. And because it is a machine that people got to understand, it's not just your social worker. It's the foster parent. It is the judge. It is your court appointed attorney. And even the fucking clerks up at the windows. They are a fucking machine that if you're not prepared for it, just like, you know, at the end of the video there, you're going to get fucking chewed the fuck up. I mean, and that's just a fact.
It is. But Michael, what I've learned in my old age is that district attorneys, judges, children attorneys, social workers, court appointed attorneys, in general, believe the abuser. In general, they believe the abuser because they're not trained to see through a narcissist. I'm giving you an example. If there's a narcissist father who has custody of his kids, for example, he's going to appear so presentable. He's going to be so calm in court. He's going to lie, and his lies are going to be convinced. Like he's going to, I don't know how to explain it to you, but convincingly lie. How can, you know, that's the best way I can put it. Right? And then the children attorney, usually they would fall for that father, meaning they usually believe them, even with evidence and the truth is right in front of them, and they still deny it. And oftentimes these children attorneys do not even see when the children are being brainwashed by the other parent. Because oftentimes when they leave children with the wrong parent, with a narcissistic parent, it's easy to diagnose bipolar. Very easy. But it's not easy to diagnose a narcissist. You have to do psychiatric evaluations. You have to do a 730 evaluation, etc. Okay. So with that being said, it's very hard. But my thing is this: for people who deal with the courts in general, they should get some kind of study, right? Study narcissism behavior in court or sociopathic behavior in court, something. They should really increase their credentials in trying to understand different types of behaviors in court. That's just my opinion as me. But that's what I believe. Because oftentimes people lose their kids. The victims always lose their kids to the wrong person. Okay? Yes, we're going to say, yeah, we survived. Like when I was watching Johnny Depp's trial, I was watching it, by the way, you guys, from the beginning to the end. I'll tell you something. What Amber Heard did and what I heard with my own ears, that's a sign of a sociopath, narcissistic individual. Because she was taunting him. And that's what a narcissist does. They taunt you until they make you lose your mind. That's all it is. And honest to God, I was crying when Johnny Depp won because I felt so bad for him. And I realized, guys, this is not just women. This is men and women. Oftentimes people say it's just, no, women are victims, men are not. No, it's not true. That's not true. It's men and women. And when you have to deal with a narcissist, there is no sex gender. There is none.
A narcissist, they just want you to react so that way you look bad. That's why they taunt you and they freaking try to make you do things, because they want you to react in a bad way. So you look like the bad person. They
Correct.
try to flip the roles.
Right. And they actually brainwash their kids. Oh, don't say this. Say it's your idea, not my idea. Say that your mom did it, or say that if you say the truth, then guess what? I'm going to go to jail. So don't do that. And then the kids in general, right? Because he's had them since they were little, they're going to believe it. They're going to sympathize with him because he had so many years to coach them. That's what a narcissist does. So you guys,
And there's no limits with the that's what sets them apart. Is there's no limits to how low they will go, what they will say about you to like a person, you know, your relative, your friends, your family, your dad, your sister, whatever, your kids.
Absolutely.
There's no limit to what they will say. And then the fucking scary thing is that they will talk 5 minutes removed from talking all that shit about you. They'll be kissing your ass, you know, right next to you.
Yeah.
So that's what like makes the fall so hard, you know. And yeah, I was rooting for Johnny Depp too, you know.
Me too. I'm so thankful to God that there was justice that day. I really am. I pray to God that every victim gets justice in courts everywhere in the world. Another thing, usually a teenager, for example, the father would tell her, if she's in his custody since little age 3 or 4, the father would tell her stuff like, oh, you know, your mom talks about me a lot, huh? Right? And then it's kind of like, oh yeah, the reason you're not with your mom is because your mom, you know, she was wrong. She did this, she did this, she did that. So when you tell a child from a young age that this is why they took you away from your mom, they're going to grow up believing it. So you guys have to be mindful too. When your children are grown, they already believed all the bullshit that the narcissist told them about you. So your job as a parent, you guys, is to prove yourself by the way you behave. You're never going to allow somebody to change you, ever. If you allow a narcissist or a sociopath to change you, then you're not centered. You have to remain who you are. You have to stick to your belief, especially when you're not a bad or an evil person. Be who you are. Do not allow circumstances to change you. What you need to do is you need to be bolder. You need to be stronger and build yourself up. Do not ever allow your enemy to bring you down. I mean, I have 3 beautiful individuals with me right now, Darren, Michael, and Cassandra. And I love each and every one of them because these 3 did not allow the enemy to tear them apart. They remain strong. They put on their thinking hat and they're doing everything they can for their children. That's love. Even when time shows them that they're losing at one point, they put on their armor and they're back on it again. And one day their kids are going to watch this video. And I am telling their children, each one of them, that you have great parents who never stopped fighting for you. And don't ever believe what you hear from the social workers. Don't ever believe what you hear from the foster parents ever about your family. Because your father, your mother, they will love you until the end of time.
It never stops. Never stops.
Never. Darren, go ahead and share with us, baby, what you want to share with.
Yeah, well, I mean, just along what you're saying with the narcissism and everything, our daughter had a visit with my wife last week. And, you know, I'm 6 days away from our TPR trial. You know, here we go. Like, this is the future is coming now, you know, like what's going to go on. However, so our daughter had said to my wife, she said, you know, Mommy, I really want to come home. I want to come home. I want to be with you and Daddy. But the other ones also want me too. So I'm kind of, you know, I don't want to hurt their feelings either. So that tells me right there that the people that have been taking care of Nina are planting that into her head, that they love her, that they want her, that they've obviously stepped above and beyond to just that's not just the general, we love you and we're giving you that loving sensation and feeling that you're missing since your parents. That is them saying, we don't want you to go, we want you to stay. And
you're gonna hurt us if you leave.
Right. For a 5-year-old now to say that,
right?
That 5-year-old should be saying nothing more than, all I want to do is go home to my mommy and daddy. That's all I want to do. I finally got to talk to her last week. They allowed me to speak with her. And then
that's good to hear.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I mean, it was tough. I was at work. It wasn't the ideal situation that I wish that I was talking to her in. However, I got to speak to her. So, and her first emotions were jumping up and down, screaming and crying that, my daddy, and if they're going to sit there and say that that kid is, not adjusted, or she's adjusted to the new family and not to be with us, or so on and so forth, they're all liars. And when we go there in 6 days, that's going to be the case that we play, that, these people are just liars. That's all they are. This is an evil group of people that are looking at her as $134,000, not as my little Nina, the one with the family. That's all they want. Is she's already written into next year's fiscal plan as a number. And that's where they want it to be. There's no way that they've done anything after going through this with 6 hours with our lawyers yesterday, going through this entirety of all this stuff. There's just no way on God's earth, unless this judge is paid off, which hopefully he isn't. Chances are that he is, but there's just no way what the state says as far as what they have to do to TPR you and what is the reality here. They don't meet at all. So in reality, there's no way that the state could prove that we should be TPR'd. However, this thing is just so dirty, and the people that I have in my case are directly involved with, as Miss G always says, like they've got a badge. They've in this case, they got a badge and a briefcase. They're in the courtrooms. They're the ones leading these criminal charges and putting their faces up in the courtroom. So you know what? Damn well that they're fighting against us, and that's it. And it shouldn't be that way. And this was the other thing I had said the other day, is that this case is supposed to be about me being an unfit parent. But now you have so many other dynamics that they're trying to play, that there's attachment with the foster family, there's this. Well, that's not part of this, and people need to realize, no, don't let them fight this, because all the judge has to prove is them being an unfit parent. Not that they're better off now because they were illegally taken from their families, and now that there's no bonding. And Vincent Davis always says the bonding study with the counselor is very important. Make sure that you do those things, because that too gives direction for the GAL and all of that. Because when they don't have that little piece, it's very easy for the state to argue that because then they get the psychologists and they're saying, well, they're little, their minds aren't there, they're attached to these people now, so we don't want to sever the ties that they've recreated because they've lost this with their parents. And that's not the right argument to have. This battle shouldn't be between me and the foster family. This isn't a custody battle between me and them. This was not into play, but yet now it is. So there's multi directions when they come at you with this TPR. So anybody that's involved in this, you need to pay attention to what's going on all around you and your surroundings. Make sure you get a good lawyer, because all of a sudden it does become a 4-way attack on you when you step foot in that courtroom. And, it becomes very difficult now, because they've done these studies. They've said, oh, well, you're late for this, or you didn't do this, or they lie about these things. Well, wait a minute. That wasn't the thing before. Oh, well, it is, because you agreed to it. You signed to this paper, or you did this. So again, very important. Don't sign things unless you see an attorney. Don't talk to them about anything other than the fact that you are a great parent, and that's it. And leave it at that, unless your attorney tells you otherwise. Because when it comes time for this, and I'll tell everybody, this is facts. This is facts of my life. I got 6 days. 6 days from now, I may not be the father of that little girl. I mean, I'll always be her father, but I won't be her dad. So that's the way that this rolls, And I'm going in there with my head up, my chin high. Let's go fuck themselves. That's my kid, and I'm going to plan on that day. However, if they don't see it that way, they don't see it that way, and then we fight another fight. But for now, everybody needs to pay attention to what they're doing and what they're trying to do to you. Stop agreeing to them. Don't tell them anything they don't need to know. Make sure you don't sign anything. Make sure you visit with your lawyer. If they don't give you one, then you tell them you're not doing a damn thing until you get one. I know they're only court pretenders, but you need to be covered some way, somehow. And make sure you remember too, like Mr. Davis told me the other day, you need to make sure that you talk to these lawyers and they understand that you're the boss, not them. You're not running by their rules. They're running by yours. And that's very important for everybody to understand, because you get to this point where you're a year and a half in, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, man, I messed up. I didn't make the right choice here. I didn't do this. This could have been over there. It could have been over then. And now, your heart's pounding and you're like, wow, everything is on this 6 days from now. Like the rest of your life, not only your life, because I continuously say this too, is it's not just my life and my wife's life or my daughter's life. It's anybody that says her name, this affects her too, them too. I mean, there's a huge extension of people that are affected by these choices.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they brainwash the children too.
Right. That's it. That's my point, is that Nina,
they brainwash them.
Right. That Nina should have never have even said that to my wife. That should have been just, Mommy, I want to come home. I'm excited to come home. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know how much she knows about what the process is, but for her to have to actually say that to my wife, that means that some way, like you're saying, they're narcissists and they're planting in her brain that she's either better off there. Like she said, my wife said something about, she loves PJ Masks, the cartoon there. And she said, my daughter said to her, Mommy, that's bad. That's bad for me. I shouldn't watch PJ Masks, and things like that. So they're planting things that are anti how we parented. And that's not the way it's supposed to be either. When they're in the kinship or they're in this program, it's supposed to be like you're walking hand in hand with one another, just going down through this process. And
but Darren, what you don't understand is I spoke to about 8 foster parents last week, by the way, because I've been doing my own my own research as well with foster parents.
Right.
And most of them told me that the social workers tells them to say that.
Of
But
course.
what they do, the good foster parents, that is, what they do is they learn from the social worker that parent is a scumbag. And they think the children are traumatized because of the parent. That's not true. And I actually educated them, by the way. And they said what the social worker said for us to say that to them.
Of course.
So some foster parents actually say what the social worker planted with them, because supposedly the father is bad or the mom is bad. But what you guys don't understand, and I want to say this again, because Cassandra's kids and Darren's kid and Michael's kid is going to be listening one day. I want to tell you guys this. Your father, Michael and Darren, and your mother, Cassandra, they're great parents. Great parents. They loved you and wanted every chance they can get to have you back in their lives. This is not their fault. This is the government that fed you with a bunch of lies in your head to believe that they saved you. That's what Satan does. That's what Satan does. Do not ever believe that your parents were the cause of you being removed from them. It's not your parents.
So this is my 23-year-old daughter right here. This is the one I raised by myself. This is Bree.
Hi, Bree. Hi, sweetheart.
23 years. I raised her by myself until Mary came in. So she was 10, 11 years old. We never had a problem, ever. Zip, zero, zilch. Her mom left when she was 4 years old. She threw keys at us and pretty much went on her way.
Right.
We've never had an issue, ever once, never a problem. It's just these people. They somehow, some way get their hooks in you. They sink on you. And it's not a matter of it's an if.
And also, Darren, you don't understand, baby. If you were, think about it logically, you have common sense and discernment. If you were such a bad parent, your 23-year-old would not be alive today.
Right.
And I'm very alive.
There you go. That's all I'm saying. It only took me 2 years to know you and Mary, right? And how long did it take us to be family? 6 months.
You have that, yeah, right.
6 months,
right?
And I've never ever lost faith in who you guys are. Oftentimes, you know a person, but by just communicating with them on day-to-day basis, you get to know them. But a social worker goes in your house for 5 freaking seconds, and they summed you up.
That's it. That's what I say about the woman.
They don't go in there trying to get to know you. They go in there judging you right off the bat.
Correct.
The woman that we had, it was 23 years old with her first case. So how is it that she's able to, in a matter of, just like Miss G said, come out, make her assumption accurately,
Correct.
and make it and in a way that it is not affecting anything? She wasn't ready for any of this.
And as a 22-year-old, I know that
No.
As a 22-year-old, you can't say things without judgment. You think that you're the smartest thing in the world and that you're always right. Like
Right.
As a 22-year-old, I know what goes on in my head, and as much as I hate to admit it, but
The woman that took her is the same age as my daughter. That's right here.
Oh my God.
Let that set. Let's put that into perspective. That the woman that took her out of our lives is the same age as that girl that's right there. That's my other daughter. Now, what is to be said about that? Like what? They don't have children. They don't have any experience in the world. She literally was playing lacrosse games the year before that, before she was there taking our child. And they just allow this. They give her the rubber stamping. They give her everything that she wants. She's protected by so many people because her family is way involved in the system and have been, and they're way, they're very, they have a lot of, they're very much known in the system because they worked so hard in the system, and they should be commended for that. You know what? Your dad worked great there. Unbelievable. He did a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that she's doing the right thing and she's doing it either. Like if you talk, I've asked around, I've done my snooping, and yeah, her dad was an amazing person. He still is an amazing person, but his thoughts and his mindset and how he did things is not representing in how she did. And this is where the problem lies. I don't believe that caseworkers that their family used to be in the system in that district anyway should be allowed to come in, because we all know how we would treat our kids. If Miss G, if it was one of your kids and they stepped into the area, you'd say, yes, you treat my son, daughter with respect and help them along through their thing. But that doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't, there should be, because now that's automatically created bias in a system that's not supposed to be bias. I believe that anybody, if you have a badge or any of that, like we talk about all the time, Miss G, they should be get out of that county immediately. They should be removed away from the county.
But not just a badge, Darren. I personally think that all social workers need to wear body cams.
Oh,
When they
absolutely.
open that refrigerator, they need to wear body cams. The judge should request footage of what they are writing in the freaking reports. The judge should check and balance everything the freaking workers does. But for stupid people not to do their job, when I say stupid, because the definition of stupid is seeing the truth, seeing evidence of the truth. I mean, hearing the truth, seeing evidence of the truth, but you still believe a lie. That is the definition of stupid. When you believe a lie. And to me, when you are a judge and you're not doing checks and balances about what you're hearing, because some women are victims for years, and the narcissist keeps getting away with it. Why? Because they have connections with the courts, right? And same thing with men. I've known 3 beautiful men in my life. My father was number 1. Darren was number 2. And Michael is number 3. And I wouldn't say this on YouTube or Facebook Live if I didn't truly love them. Okay? Cassandra, she's an amazing mom. She's a victim from all this bullshit. And to me, any courts that is living based on lies, then you are worthless. You are a worthless piece of poop. For real. Sitting on a bench making rules and orders when you're not doing checks and balances of what that worker actually lied about, or the narcissistic father who keeps lying and misleading the courts. If you can't do your job as a judge, then I question why you became a judge to begin with. If it wasn't for helping the victims, then it has to be for money and title. Because some people, especially a sociopath, get off on titles. All they care about is their title, their power, their badge. Give me a break.
Let me tell you something about titles, dude. Let me say something about titles. Let me say something about titles and money. think about it. Where the fuck is the title and your money going to be when you're gone?
Yep.
Nobody's going to take that title and keep it with you when you die, when you go get judged, when you get judged. It's not going to be there. You're going to be just the same as everybody else. Everybody in this world is the same thing. We're all human beings. We all get hurt. We all have feelings. We all should have feelings. But these fucking people are pieces of shit who just care about money and their title, which they can't take that with them when they fucking get away.
Nope,
okay, so fuck your title, fuck your money. Like, let it go.
They're not gonna meet God with their badge. No, they're not.
Right, and the Bible says pride. What does the Bible say about pride? What does the Bible say about pride?
Pride is
pride is part of the devil. Right. That's the that pride is from the devil. And that's just it. They pride themselves on what? They pride themselves on
They're narcissists. I told you guys what my goddaughter did. She went to apply for those of you who don't know the story. That was how many years? A year ago? She went to apply for a DCFS office. Now she graduated from UCLA. And she wanted to be a social worker to make a difference. I discouraged it. Her mother discouraged it because her mom knows how the system is. She said, no, I'm going to make a difference. She did an assessment test for her interview, and it came back as 95 or 98% compassionate, something like that. And the supervisor told her that she cannot work in the office. So my goddaughter said, why? Do you hire narcissistic people or something, or sociopath? And she's laughed. She said the supervisor laughed, and she said, yeah, you could say that.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Because she's compassionate. You can't be compassionate.
No,
you
nor
can't
can
have
you
a
be feminine
soul. You can't believe in God. You can't have discernment. You can't have common sense. You have to be a puppet for the devil to use you. So for people that go into that kind of field and they think they have a purpose in that field, you're mistaken. You have to be a sociopathic or a narcissist to actually work in that kind of field. So when you hear a social worker saying, I wanted to make a difference, she's or he are absolutely 150% liars. There's no way in hell on the face of the freaking earth that a social worker actually tells the truth. No way. Not one.
Yeah. I wanted to point out this with Ashley saying most of them are not even licensed social workers.
Yep.
That's true. So I didn't even learn this till the other day. I don't know. There's something about an A after their name or something. I don't know what it is there.
Yes.
Okay.
They have to have it's a letter. I forgot what it was, but after their name, there's a letter that shows that they're licensed. When they don't have that, that means they're not licensed. Okay. And most of them are like 19, 20, 21, 22. Literally graduated high school.
Can you imagine? So Mr. Davis thinks very highly of you. And that's why he allows you to put his name on your show, or it's his show. You know what I'm saying? But he thinks very highly of you. But you're accountable for every bit. Think about a couple weeks ago. I made that little funny with the device that I used, and we had to take it down because that didn't fit, like I did some. So immediately accountability was taken care of. These judges are allowing, like you said, these 19, 20, 21-year-olds to run around and put their name on papers that they're not even aware of. Now think of it this way. We're doing a nice YouTube show, Hulu show, all these places for everybody to understand this stuff. And I take out a condom and use it differently, and bang, immediately it's, you know what, that wasn't right. Maybe we should take that show down. You're held accountable immediately. And that was instantaneous that you messaged me. That's how much that everybody's watching what's going on with what you're doing with their names and so on. So now a judge, though, however, allows these caseworkers to take children away without ever looking at papers because they trust what they're doing, saying, acting. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think they trust. Excuse me. I don't think they trust.
No.
They just turn the blind eye to it because of the financial gain and what it does for the numbers. And but we got to not only look at the judges because they're the fucking worst, dude. The one I have is fuck. I won't even get into it.
Judges are very biased in general, and social workers are biased. District
And the
attorneys are
DAs are the
biased.
worst.
Children attorneys are biased. You know, when they have like a charmer, like a narcissist who's charming, you know, or a charmer, or whatever you want to call it, they fall for it.
Like realized something. I just realized something. You guys want to hear how bad stuff is for me? Like, I don't even know how you guys feel, like, because I've never literally been in a courtroom. That's how alienated I am.
A lot of people don't know your story. Cassandra never been in a courtroom, by the way.
I've never even been in a courtroom.
No.
You're very lucky. You're very fortunate.
No, she's not.
No, I'm not.
Over.
I don't know anything about my case. Anything.
We should do
hardly at all.
When I go next week, we should figure out if we can do it live. We should do it live, huh? From my courtroom, and let everybody watch.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, can't one of the parties bring it? Ask to have a camera in there? Oh, but it's a juvenile dependency thing.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think they would let him.
Ask your attorney, dude. Ask your attorney if you can. Fuck it, why not?
They record court.
That's a great idea.
Proceedings all the time for juvenile court.
I don't know about Maine state, but it's a criminal offense. I heard from an attorney when you record the court proceeding.
How come the courts can do it? How come the courts can do it?
I don't know. I
don't
don't
on YouTube.
that part. I have seen court proceeding for juvenile on YouTube that the judge allowed. I don't know how, but that's what I heard from an attorney. I didn't hear it from Mr. Davis. I heard it from another attorney. So I don't know if that attorney is accurate. Usually when Davis says something, I believe him, but I haven't really asked them. But that's what I heard.
Yeah, they got some county
or whatever. But I think that would be interesting to actually put up a live TPR hearing, or at least after the fact, to see, because people don't even understand what they are. Because a lot of people never even make it to that point. Their kids are just gone. They don't even get that, or they get a letter in the mail saying that their rights have been terminated, or a lot of people don't actually get to the trial portion. You know,
a lot of people don't even get trial, babe. A lot of people,
like, I've never even had any type of, like, I've never been inside a courtroom for my kids, except for the very first initial court thing. I was at the courthouse, but I never got to go into the courtroom because they told me that I just needed to do what they said, and that was it. Like, she didn't give me a chance to do shit.
It didn't. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that topic up. When you guys think that everything that you do, that the social worker tells you to do, you're going to get your kids back, you're mistaken.
No.
That's not true. I don't care how great parent you are. I don't care. And I told you guys millions of times, do not believe that hype. It's not true.
And the fact is, like, I've never signed anything. I never signed shit.
Yep.
And I still, like, I don't know half the stuff. Like, I don't even know how I'm to the point that I'm at with my kids still, or how any of this is going down, because, like, how they have my visits, how they have everything is so off the court. Like how they're doing things is not how the court is saying that they need to be done. And, like, they're letting, like, one of their old foster moms who has, like, their schooling, like, rights or whatever for their school, they're letting her have overnights with them, and they're still in a group home. They're saying that the only way I could get visits is if I let her set them up, which is only whenever she wants. And I'm supposed to have visits every week for 2 hours. And I'm not getting that because it's only when she wants to schedule up.
How long?
Like, 5 years. I've been doing this for 5 years. And
yeah, she's a non-offending parent. It was the ex's girlfriend.
No, it was him. It was him.
I mean, well, and
but she lied about. She lied and put allegations out there saying that I was being a abusive mom, or not caring about what the hell is going on when I was.
By the way, you are very abusive.
Yeah,
It's
but
so
my kids are older. My kids are older. My daughter's 14 and 13. They're both 14 and 13. And they've told me that they are very aware because they remember when I was with them, you know, like I had them from the time they were like born to about 7 and 8 years old. And then when they were 7 or 8 years old, I let them go stay with their dad because I needed his help, you know, like I lost some stuff. I freaking got in a bad spot. I needed help. He helped me by taking them.
Makes mistakes.
And,
Everybody has
and
problems.
he basically lost them within a year of having them. And I just looked like the bad person because apparently his little friend said a whole bunch of stuff about me. But like, pretty much my kids know better.
I don't see it. I don't see what they could say about you that would be so horrid that is that.
Pretty much my kids know.
She's an artist, you guys. I've seen some of her artwork. When I saw Johnny Depp, when I saw Johnny Depp artwork, I actually thought about Cassandra. She's very talented. And I just can't believe. I mean, usually a talented, look at that. She does things like that. It's beautiful.
She needs to get
that's one of them.
NTF or NFTs or whatever they are.
Very talented, very smart, very, very smart. Me and her talk after work. Yeah, and she's
my
smart.
13-year-old daughter is an artist too.
Yeah. She takes after her mommy. But what they put the children through it's horrific. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, that's killer. That's awesome.
Painting?
Yeah,
beautiful.
I painted that.
She has a beautiful soul and she's a great mom. And the kids want to come to her until today. But they would rather, a social worker would rather the kids run away, be on the street, than come to their mom. Yeah. That's literally what happens.
Yeah. Facts.
It's a fact.
Yep.
And all of you guys watching this show, I literally, for everybody that knows me, I literally speak the truth. There's nothing, no sugarcoat. There's no going around it. Say what?
No filter.
No filter.
No filter.
That's why we need this right here. Miss G 2024 right there. See?
Miss G 2024. I love you, Michael.
Did you see?
I mean, Darren.
Darren, did you see mine?
No, let me see.
Darren, did you see what Cassandra did?
I haven't.
Real talk with Miss
Oh,
G.
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you know what's so funny? She had to. I didn't see it at first, and then she's
just like how she didn't see yours.
I'm like I didn't see Darren's. I didn't see Darren's either, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I know. Oh my God, Darren! Yeah, Darren. You guys, he does shirts, and he's an artist in a different way. He puts his art on shirts, and I love him. And Cassandra puts her art in
canvas. You should make
canvas.
Those, what are those? You should make
I
those,
actually was going to start a t-shirt thing too. So like, but I do canvases and basically whatever I want to paint on.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever you got to do, girl, get through it. Do it.
Yeah. And then Michael and I, we just exposed CPS.
Yeah, no, I play music. I got some artistic ability too. I play music. I play music and stuff.
That's
Cassandra, we should make a children's book together.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we should make a children's book.
Yeah,
I know,
sure
little teddy bear. It says, the moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease to be able to do so. And that's a quote from Peter Pan.
She's so happy lately. I love seeing her happy. It's so much better.
She's normally a happy person, but it's kind of hard when you think about
I think it's me. I think I bring it out in her.
It's hard. It's very hard. When you think about your own children, you can't help but cry.
It sucks.
You know?
And this, we've talked about this today, is people don't understand, like, oh, it must be so terrible. You don't have no freaking clue what it's like to have your kid stolen from you.
No.
Like, this is like getting your kid kidnapped. However, you aren't just getting it kidnapped. You can't do anything about it. You can know where it is, but you can't go get it. You can't.
I want to say something. I want to add something. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Darren. I want to add something. Did you guys remember in the trial, the Johnny Depp trial, when his attorney, Amber Heard's attorney, the old lady, I can't stand her. I forgot her name, but her attorney, when she said that Johnny Depp is a narcissist because he was drawing on a piece of sticky note or whatever. He was just drawing some art or something. And that's not a behavior of a narcissist, you piece of trash. That's not a behavior of a narcissist. So I just want to make that very clear that when I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but I can't stand her.
I
Her
do.
voice
I
every
do.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like I was watching a
And then
video
when she
on
said to
TikTok.
TMZ guy that he wants his 15 minutes of fame, but look at her now. Now that to me is the behavior of a narcissist.
For sure.
That to me is a behavior of a narcissist because you're enabling another narcissist to continue on with her shenanigans.
And that's a narcissistic comment, you know, talking shit on somebody who is doing something as an outlet, you know, somebody who plays a guitar or plays or draws, you know, they're not hurting anybody.
A narcissist does.
You know?
A narcissist starts a smear campaign.
Mhm.
You have to understand what a narcissist parent does. They start a smear campaign against their victim. And whoever believes the lies, they're idiots. They're idiots. That's all it is.
Almost everybody does.
Yes, when an idiot spreads rumors that's false and you believe it, you become an idiot. I mean, am I right or wrong?
No, I think that's absolutely right. And that kind of goes along with like these social workers like mine. I've never even met the guy. 4 or 5 months has me labeled as somebody who's twisted truth. I'm a perpetrator of domestic violence. I never even met the guy ever. Not one time. I've only had phone conversations with him.
All of us men.
And then he writes that shit in a report, dude. He does there's no research, no data, never even mentioned the topic of domestic violence.
Yeah, if you're a man, you're domestic violence with DHS. Period. End of story.
Yeah, I mean they do this
Even
to
if you're a
everybody, guys.
woman,
Women
like, they
too,
put
you
me
guys.
as
That's not
domestic
true.
violence person too.
That's not true. They do
did.
that with women. They actually arrest women for domestic violence. When the father or the abuser says she hit me, they just okay, well, you're going to jail. Yeah. They don't. The system. How can I say it? The system discriminates against the victim.
Absolutely. And then they don't do the research. I think that the one thing I want to get across is that these guys don't have the credentials. They don't have they don't do the fucking proper research. They just throw this shit out there. And then, like you said, Miss G, people bite on it and they believe it. Oh, she said this, and then, like, fuck. And then all of a sudden you are that. You're already convicted before you even fucking have a chance to speak. It's just incredibly.
They don't allow you to speak. And that's go ahead. What?
Don't let others' interpretations of you become your reality. That's one of Les Brown's number one statements. You don't let anybody their vision or their interpretations of you become your reality. That's the fastest way to sink in this world. And you should never, if you have your integrity about yourself and you have your wits about yourself, don't fall into it. Don't become the person trying to make you. Don't be that person, because you're right. They're trying to make you into someone that you're not. And it's very easy once, it's like if they say it long enough, then you will become that. It's not a matter of if, it's when, because if they keep telling you that you're this and you're this and you're this and you're this, you will follow suit with it eventually, because your mind works that way. You're just, it's making you, training you to be this. Next thing you know, you're that. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, it's like you have to stop and think about it.
Michael, let me say this. The truth doesn't give a damn what your opinion is. And I'm being nice. I should have put the F word in there. The truth, let me say it the other way. The truth doesn't give a fuck what your opinion is.
Because the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth. And that's what I tell a lot of people. So to me, it's like if I see battling evil is a constant job. When you have to battle evil daily, that's a constant job that never ends until you take your last breath on earth.
But remember, in DHS, the truth is not going to set you free, so shut your mouths.
That's very true. You don't want to give them anything. You got to think of them as cops, as anything you say can and will be used against you. And even shit you don't say is going to be used against you. So it's,
but
I
I'm
totally
not
agree.
that for you to tell them your whole life story. Do not. That's not what I meant by that. What I meant by that is that speaking the truth is important. However, you do not speak the truth with a demon. You guys have to understand the devil understands the Bible better than you and me. But the devil also knows how to misuse the words in the Bible to put in someone's head to do the opposite of what God instructed us to do. So the devil is the father of lies, the father of manipulation, the trickery. He has so many different names. He tricks you, he manipulates the truth, and leads you to believe a lie. That's not from God. And I hate it when people tell me, Georgette, I don't believe in God anymore. And I feel bad for them. Why? Because that's what the devil wants you to do.
And that pretty much means I think you've lost all your hope, man. And then that's changed you. When you say something like that, something as profound as that, I don't believe in God anymore. That means that they got to you and they changed you.
Right. And I want to leave you guys with this, okay? And hopefully you'll understand. The enemy can only go on what's spoken. He doesn't have the Holy Spirit in him or her. He cannot discern. So he only knows what to attack if you say it. That's why the Bible tells us what? To confess. To confess, I'm healed. I am the head and not the tail, etc., etc. So you guys need to understand this is a spiritual warfare. It really is. It is. So you guys never give up on your kids. And like I said, I have three beautiful individuals, Cassandra, Darren, and Michael, that I love with all my freaking heart. And I've known them for a while. And I can honestly tell you, you guys' kids are going to listen to this. Download this video if you have to. Let your kids see it, because I know your parents and I love them. And I'm telling you right now, you have amazing parents that truly loved you. And don't believe anything the workers told you. Do not believe it when the workers even telling you that your dad or mom didn't want to show up to see you. Don't believe that your dad and mom are bad people, because that's why you're not with them. Of course, the devil wants you to believe that. Of course, the devil is going to lie. Of course, the devil is going to cheat and deceive and withhold evidence to make sure that they win. That's what a narcissist and sociopath people are. So do not believe what you hear about your mom and your dads. I'm telling you that right now. Do you guys want to close with anything?
I think
Thank you,
that's
and we
it.
love you too.
I think that was beautiful. I can't top that. So that was good. That was very good. That was good.
I like
it. Guys.
I'm only going to end it with this.
He's still on this G 2024.
Yeah, this G for president. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh my God.
We got to start planning your campaign.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Stop saying that you can't make a difference because
I'm
you
writing
can.
it in. It's going to be written in for me. That's for sure.
You're so amazing. That's what you guys are amazing. Thank you so much, Michael and Darren and Cassandra. I love you guys. I truly do love you guys. And you guys are amazing people. And don't give up, you guys. And I know you won't. But I want you guys to download this video and let your kids hear it, because I really meant every word of it.
Thank you, Miss G.
Thank you, Miss
Love
G.
you too.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Are you guys going to show up tomorrow?
Be on time.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same time, same place.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.